Well, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Foxy, on the show tonight. It's my mate Bridgeman and my mucker Southside. Evening, lads.
Evening, guys.
Well, can I say a big good evening to you two guys and a lot in the panel here. Massive good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. One more sleep. One more sleep. Everybody, keep it going for the Rangers and get in here. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
One more sleep to what?
We've not got a match this weekend. Damn blast. Oh dear, I'm away in a different world. That Hibs game's ruined me. Sorry, guys.
I thought that was a no God I'm coming moment.
No.
How you doing, guys? All right?
All right, mate. I've not heard you for a while, mate. Give your thoughts on the last couple of games, mate. Obviously, convincing victory at home to Ross County, and then Wednesday night's game, mate.
You probably spoke a lot about it, mate. But Ross County, I suppose we talked about it before the week building up, mate. After the last game, we wanted a fast start and a good start and a good performance. So we certainly got that against Ross County. Thought there was some really good displays and some good football. I think Ross County probably helped us a wee bit, considering they tried to play out for the back. But we got right in about them, didn't we, mate? We started off well. That's what we looked for, a good start. And Joe Aribo scored a wonder goal. And obviously the team goal was a goal finished off by Ryan Jack, mate. So it was a pleasing day and a good performance, especially that day, mate.
Yeah, and Wednesday night, mate?
Wednesday, I thought we started well. I thought we played well for about the first 25 minutes. I thought the midfield and defence played well, linking the passes. Thought maybe just getting to the edge of the 18-yard box, we sort of failed with a sort of final pass in the first half with a sort of shot for Alfie. I think it was blocked. But we sort of huffed and puffed a wee bit, I thought. Second half, big difference. Thought we came right at them. It was a lovely goal we scored with a link up with Davis and Aribo and onto Alfie. I thought Kamara had an excellent second half, mate. Thought he was dynamite. I thought the whole midfield for most of the game were pretty good. Moved the ball well in that. Davis, usual, reliable and was pretty good, mate. Probably Kamara shaded him in the midfield. Thought Ryan Jack had another excellent game, especially coming back after injury. But my man of the match, I gave it to, was Big Hollander. And the only reason I gave him that, mate, was because I think he's been out for a wee while. He's come back and against Ross County, and then he played on the Wednesday night. He's had a bout of COVID, and then he had that injury, so he'd been out for a wee while. So I thought, coming back into the team, I thought he had some crucial blocks, kept marshalled the defence with Golston well, made good tackles, and obviously the header near the end of the game, with his positional sense. I think he's a good defender, mate. I like him. Mm-hmm. So I was pleased for him in that sort of sense, mate. So that's how I gave him my man of the match.
I wouldn't argue with that. I mean, a lot of people are big fans of Big Hollander, and I wouldn't argue with him being man of the match. I just thought that some of Glenn Kamara's stuff in the second half was exquisite, you know. And you're right, we scored a lovely goal on a terrible pitch Southside there.
Aye, the pitch wasn't very good at all. I'd sort of seen it in one of the games a week before, and Stevie G had mentioned it, and then obviously once we seen it when we were playing, it wasn't a great pitch at all. But mate, I thought we still tried to pass the ball on it. I thought we were really good sometimes in tight areas on the byline and stuff. I thought some of the play and we 1-2s and then bringing the ball out and then switching the play, I thought it was really good. And like you say, Kamara was excellent in the second half. He made some good runs. Even in the first half, Fox, he was driving into the box in that in the first half. But second half, he was all over the park, wasn't he? And he was excellent. But I thought the whole midfield was good. Then obviously Roof coming on sort of changed it, and then Itten come on and go to fouls and sort of took us up the park a bit further. So it was a great team effort, mate. I thought all round, and we deserved to get the 3 points.
Yeah, mate. Oh, we were indeed the better team, Bridgeman. Eh?
By the length of Edmund, way above them. Most assuredly, with the best of the possession. But play was brilliant, but most of the really good play happened in the second half. And we got a goal out of it and could have got 3 or 4 more, truth be told. Some good wee chances there. And some of our better strikers or better passers of the ball or whatever near the goal, they sort of let themselves down sometimes and obviously letting us down in a sense. But their chances nevertheless, and they never took them. But there you go. That's the way it is. We got more points. 3 points, box ticked, and we're away.
Yeah. A few stories broke the day concerning the club. Southside, while we're on Wednesday night, mate, get your views on the major talking point, mate. You're a fair judge.
The Alfie tackle. I've watched it a few times. It doesn't, for me, I don't think it's a deliberate stamp. He makes contact, and I've watched it, and there's a couple of angles where you can see it. But obviously, the one they show you is obviously the one they've changed the angle in it. But the ref looked at it when I first seen it. It looked like he just sort of fell over him, and then they've obviously got the other angle, mate. So the ball was sort of it spun up, but then as it's moved away, he's come down with his leg. I just think he's probably just gave people something to talk about, and obviously it has. It's smashed the headlines in it all over the place.
I've been that comment on him. I'm not denying he stood on his leg, and the referee, when he sees he's got a decision to make, but the referee are a referee's a game of Disney. You know, we have to watch what we're doing with football now.
I think, like I say, Docs, when you see the one where the referee sees it, obviously when you're watching it on that Sky, the angle they had when you see it the very, very first time, he sees what I looked at when I was sitting on the couch watching it. It just looked like he saw it. It just looks like he stumbles over the top of him. It's just when they changed the angle, that's when it looks worse than what I think Clancy saw. And then, I'll be honest, he's gave them something to talk about. So, but at the moment, he's innocent until he's guilty. He's got to go up on Tuesday, I believe. I don't think it's an automatic ban or anything at the moment. So we need to wait, obviously, to Tuesday. But it's Alfie, innit? He's been involved in a few controversies at times like that. So I just think they'll just look at it as, he's done another one somewhere. So we'll just have to wait and see, mate. But it's certainly not a stamp, because Porteous could have showed the ref it. He never showed the ref his leg and said, look, he's studied me, no that. He never made a big deal. He rolled about and then he got up. So they didn't see Porteous have any markings on him or complain about it. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we'll just have to see what happens on Tuesday.
Just touch on the media before my mate has a heart attack. I've got to say, the agenda-driven media is just unbelievable. And I said it the other night, it's bordering on racism with young Alfredo. He's a young man who's a talent. If we could, he would put bums in seats. He's a pantomime villain. He's a character. He's a goal scorer. He's a star. And they're trying everything to drive him out of Scottish football, which is bizarre when the game's in trouble and we need all the positives we can. Yeah, he steps the line, but I cannot remember Morelos hurting anybody, Bridgeman.
No, he's not. It was apart from maybe one incident with Aberdeen with that boy Scott McKenna. I think the two of them bashed a wee bit and maybe hurt each other because he got booted in the face and they caught him somewhere else, you know. So there's a couple of wee incidents. I don't mean leg breakers or anything, nothing like that. Absolutely nothing. He's like a wee angel compared to some of them in Scottish football, isn't he? You know, if you think of all the elbows that Scott Brown's done on people behind the referee's back, smashing into people, and that one he did the other week there, that's the first time I've seen him getting caught with it. And seriously, I've never seen him getting caught straight red. And if these referees had been with it at all, that's what he's been doing for the last 9 or 10 years. The exact same thing.
Okay, I'm conscious tonight, and I don't want this to turn into the Alfred Morelos show, but obviously people have their views outside, but I've been here before, you know what I mean?
Aye, obviously, we can talk about loads of things about Rangers as well. I mean, obviously the night, that's what the show's about. But obviously, if people want to come on and talk about it, see, at the end of the day, it's probably a red card, right? I'm not saying it's not a red card, but what I'll say is I don't think he absolutely stamped on the decisions that he's gave refs and obviously the media to talk about. It's not the first one he's done ops in his career, well as it is. But like you say, he's never been sent off for injuring somebody. It's just he's late and he's did a couple of stupid things, and that is what it is with Alfie. But I mean, it doesn't need to be the talking point all night. We can talk about lots of things about Rangers as well, mate.
Yeah. Can I just say, when you think back to the tackle the boy put on him against the D United South Side, you know, with the gash in his leg, and he had to get carried off a park. And there was no case to answer.
Not even a free kick for it. Not even a free kick for it.
Okay.
No, okay. I think it was Clancy that day, I know, wasn't it?
Aye, Bridges, mate.
Aye.
All right. If people want to join us, what's the number, Bridgeman?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We brought into the call by the one and only Fox and Old School Blue. If you phone in, hang up and we will phone you back. There's no need to keep phoning. Is that right, Southside?
100%, mate. If you just phone the ones, just wait and they'll certainly phone you back.
Here. If we like you. We don't like you, we'll no phone you back.
TV, too bad.
Aye. Bridgeman, Jordan Jones away on loan to Sunderland. No surprise, is it?
Well, no, I think it's been on the cards since the wee soiree down in the good West End here. I'm in Big Edmondson. I think his number was called then. I must be honest. I'm not surprised, and I don't think you might never see him back here again. Depending how well he plays, of course, you know. But he has got a contract, and we have to honour it or transfer him. So that's as simple as that. I don't know how much it's got left in it, but I'll tell you this: I was really looking forward to seeing that boy in a Rangers shirt and get maybe 10 games just to get his feet under the table and get his game about him with a Rangers strip on. And I think we would have seen some really good football from him. And I never saw it. Sorry to say. Except once, I saw him a cracking game against Motherwell. He scored a great goal against Motherwell. And other than that, I don't think he started at all. But good luck to him.
I remember having a couple of decent games against Midtjylland, and then in particular away, I think you were at that game, Southside, in Denmark, and then we had his performance against Morelos this season, but all too fleeting, and well, it's just no worked out for him. Was that fair, Southside?
Hello.
Oh, we'll take this call off.
Hi, mate.
Evening, call.
How you doing? It's Stephen. I used to phone you, but I've got a different phone number now.
All right, Stephen, how you doing, mate?
No bad. How you doing? All right.
How did you get another phone number, Stephen?
Off the internet.
Okay.
Oh no! All right. I lost my phone. I lost my phone. No, what it is it's quite a serious thing here. I'm still listening to you at the same time, but obviously it's in another room. But it happened about that and the compliance officers. But see, the compliance officer, is it the same compliance officer that works for UEFA that does the Scotland games? You tell me that one?
No, the compliance officer, she finished last week. And what's broke the day is they're going to use a group of lawyers to look at cases now. to see if they're compliant. Lawyers, I don't know if that's true. That was false.
And it's the island, aye. And anyway, see, like, what about the challenge that happened to? I can't actually remember the Rangers player, but it was a boy Shankle that done it, and he got nothing happened to him.
Are you talking about against the United?
Aye, Dundee United. Aye, and then what about the one that Jack got after the boy for Kilmarnock, Mahid? Nothing happened to him.
I mean that was 10 times worse than anything Morelos has done. The tackle for the United, I don't think personally that guy meant it. I think he was just late and caught Morelos on the leg, but it was still because he's leg.
Well, Morelos was late then. Morelos didn't mean it. Morelos was looking at the ball.
I don't think, and I'm not going to deny, Stephen, that Morelos stood on the boy's leg, because he did. But what I'm saying is there's a difference between that stamping on somebody's leg with force. Southside?
I said that earlier. I said that earlier, Stephen. I mean, Porteous didn't have any marks on his leg. He would have been up showing the referee and that, and he never. So obviously he's put his leg on. He's put his studs on his leg, and then it's not a stamp. It's just he's late, but the ball spun up, and he's late. So I just think they'll probably give him a rid for a simple reason being he's got previous for certain things, and it's Alfie. So that's what I think. But it could easily be nothing, mate. We could go up there on Tuesday, and there might be no case to answer. The way will describe what happened, and only Alfie knows. So at the end of the day,
we're going against you, bro.
Aye, I know that, mate. But here, stranger things have happened. Do you know what I mean? You never know.
Do you
strange. That's not true, bro.
Guys, do you think that Mr. Gerrard and company will appeal that?
That's where you've got.
I think you got with a lawyer.
Oh, of course. You get armed.
As long as he's not for that Shane McMurphy and whatever. Aye, exactly.
Would that be Shaughnessy, Duffy or Rodoro lawyers?
I don't know.
That's what it is. We'll just need to wait and see on Tuesday. But aye, you'll probably get a guilty, right? But we'll see.
I was just asking because a lot of times that we've said these things. My own personal opinion is I don't want anything to shall we say, take away from what the team are doing. And if that means we have to go there and say, right, yeah, we'll accept whatever ban you're going to give us, i.e. the 3-match ban, we'll accept that and let's go on with it. I don't know how we'll cover it.
There's two things. There's a big thing here for me, Bridge. If Morelos is adamant he didn't mean it, we've got to support the
Of course, I'm saying that when all I'm meaning is that I'm basing it on what we've seen and what people have said, other people have said, and the chances are that these people in the panel that looked at this, they've came out, it's a unanimous three guilty verdicts, right? That's what it seems like. So the Rangers have got to gamble on that. Do they take the chance and appeal? I would appeal. Normally I would appeal, 100%. But given the situation with the league and winning the league, and I don't want anybody's attention to be taken away for anything. And that's my honest opinion. So if it was me and I had the choice, which I don't, but if I had the choice, I would accept the 3-game ban and go on it.
So that came back in here.
On you go, Stephen.
Yeah, well, in my option is like football is always a forward moving game, true. So he's going for the ball, plain and simple. And it's in my eyes, it's not a red card, it's not even a yellow card. But what McGregor done to Kamara, he wrestled him, jumped on his back, and then put him on and put his studs into his leg. What's happening with him? You know what I mean?
He got a yellow card, didn't he? He got a yellow card.
I got a yellow card, but you can still rescind that yellow card. You can still go to a panel on that yellow card. You know what I mean? But nothing's happened to him. So it was like three professional referees that says that, yeah, that was a red card. See if they 3 referees were in that situation, do you think these 3 referees would have been like, oh, that's a red card straight away? No. So Clancy's played his hand. He says, it's not a red card. Continue with the game. He's gone for the ball. His eyes are on the ball. Because Clancy's standing and watching the full water here. And he has eyes. Morelos' eyes were on the ball all the way. And then all of a sudden, there's all this, he's kicked him, he's put his studs on him, No, he's gone for the ball. It's momentum. It's football. It's always going forward. does nobody ever realise that, no? You know what I mean? I think Morelos is, me personally, I think he's safe. He's a great player. I hope he's safe. I
absolutely hope he's safe, but all I'm going to say is, if Morelos hadn't been charged with what he's been charged with, then nobody would have bothered their bum about the Kamara attack. They wouldn't. The television never even noticed it.
I think you've also got to watch, Stephen. I mean, it's only my opinion. I think we've got to watch this as a sport. We don't fall into the narrative where it's driven with pundits and journalists who have got an anti-Rangers agenda, who are trying to take the story away from what it is. The story is about this team has played 26 games, won 23, drew 3, still in Europe. One of the most successful teams for seasons for a Scottish team since 2008, and they can't admit what's happening with an excellent football team playing in front of their eyes. But they'll wake up one day. Anyway, we've also been joined by Stuart. Evening, Stuart.
Evening, Rocks.
Hi, Stuart.
Evening, the guys in the panel.
All right, Stuart.
I'm on the coffee tonight, by the way.
Oh, no, your 2 cans, no.
No, I'm on the coffee tonight.
Come on, Stuart. I've got the microphone or the tape recorder and everything here. Come on.
I just been listening to since Wednesday, guys. I'm maybe going off on a bit of a tangent here, but it's still in regards to since Wednesday night, and not just probably going back to at least 2012 and how we've been treated. And it's to get the view of the boys in the panel, yourself. It's a hypothetical thing, maybe even bordering on fantasy, but if in the very near future we were invited into the English League by the English FA, would how do you feel? Should we accept? Would we go? Would it be better for us?
Us or them. If you go back prior to the Premier League, maybe in 1992, etc., when we were beating the English champions home and away, they didn't have the marketing power of the Premier League all over the world. They could have used us as a marketing tool and improved their viewing figures. What would we bring to the party in that league? Loads of people with interest. Would the viewing figures go up worldwide? I don't know, mate. So I don't think it's going to happen. I think sometimes we've also got to remember we're a Scottish team and British. We are a Scottish football team founded in Glasgow. Old school. Southside.
You hear me now, mate?
Aye, on you go.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't get up meter. I think we're sort of past that boat now for the Premiership. I think a good few years back, if it had happened, then I think we remember Alan Bocek. I think we made a bid for him. He ended up going to Middlesbrough. If we'd been in the Premiership, Alan Bocek should have been signing for the Rangers. We'd have attracted phenomenal players, but I think it's gone. I'd like a wee British Cup or some type like that. I'd like to have seen that happen, but no. We're in Scotland, I suppose, and that's where we're going to be for the foreseeable future, unless anything happens in a wee European league. But apart from that, no. I'm just looking forward to steaming on, mate, and getting 55.
56, 57, 58. Bridgman?
Aye.
I think that I would love it if Rangers got involved in the English Premiership, particularly English Premiership. We might have to start somewhere else, but the Premiership would be wonderful to have a team like Rangers in it. Just wonderful for me, absolutely, just fantastic. I think they would be welcomed with open arms, in my honest opinion. I think the fans from all over the place, I'm sure they're quite keen on getting to see Rangers fans for whatever reason. Maybe want to batter us, I don't know. But never mind, as far as I'm concerned, we've been down there in European traits before, and we'll come out very, very well. We do well against, nearly always do well against English teams because we're a good footballing side. And that's the truth of it. We're a good footballing side. And I think we would do quite well. And I'm not being funny. The problem, of course, is that when we hit a place like the English Premiership, you're not going to go walk in. You're not going to walk into a European place every year unless you're really, really up for it and you're spending your money or whatever it is, building your team. That's the kind of attitude we need to get. We get used to spending big money in order to build your team and hold your team. and get into the at least the Europa League down there. If you get into the Champions League, you're one of the top three, aren't you? Just amazing. I would love it to happen.
Can I just come back in?
Your point, sure. What's your view?
No, I just don't. I understand what they're saying there. I know it's no likely to happen, but you never know down the road, and especially when we've got the likes of Stevie Gerrard there as an ambassador, you know, and in all senses, I know we're Scotty, but we're a British-minded club. But you know, again, if it happened, you know, I think the game up here would collapse without us. You know, what we put in financially into, you know, see what happened coming up through the leagues, the amount of money we've put into the lower league clubs, and maybe we just see how they, you know, let them all go on there.
Here. Listen, mate. I mean, I think we're going to have battles about Scottish and British, mate. But I don't know if it's going to be on a football field. I think it might be political, try to keep our country the way it is.
Well,
that's a different story for a different time and maybe a different show. But listen, great question, mate. Great question, and obviously people see it differently. I've only given you my view. I think there was a time it could have happened, but I think that ship sailed. Anyway, we'll be joined by Cal. Good evening, Cal.
Yes, guys.
Good evening, Ox. I said I was phoning up about the TV thing, about the red button, about televised matches. Right, if you just, I'll indulge you, I want to come back with my Alfie thing as well. Now, when we were in Germany staying, when the equivalent of Sky was the German thing, it was Premiere. Mm-hmm. Every game, 3 o'clock kick-off was on the red button service. But you couldn't do it in Scotland because we're only a wee country, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Germany has only one league. You know, well, the Bundesliga, the second division as well. And I think that's how it could never work for Scotland. It's too wee. Other thing about Alfie, do you know who the lawyers are? Have you got an idea?
No, I haven't, mate.
Well, I've heard a wee rumour. It's Matthew Hopkins and co. Google it. Do you know who Matthew Hopkins was?
No.
Witchfinder General. And that's what it is. It's a complete witch hunt.
Right. All right, I get it.
Right.
Listen, mate, Morelos, hopefully justice will be done on Tuesday, done properly and fairly. That's all we're always.
That's all I'm hoping for, justly and fairly. But it can never be justly and fairly when it's only done through constant TV bias and things like that. Now there was another incident in the game, no bit of kicking or a stamping. Hallberg in the first half, deliberate handball, horn above his head. Free kick just. Now, as far as I remember in football, deliberate handball was a yellow card. That was in the first half.
Correct.
You know, so continuity and things like that. Was he blind or was this? No, I can't say it because it sounds stupid.
I've got to say, as far as the game was concerned, on Wednesday, I didn't think Clancy had that bad a game.
Neither did I.
You know, concerning us, you know. We got a couple of breaks maybe, and you get that in a game of football. Aye,
but I mean, you know, that was their whole bloody show. Sorry, their whole show was the Alfred Morelos thing. I mean, I was sick of hearing that.
That becomes a different issue altogether. Bringing in Southside, the media agenda, mate. It's a different thing altogether. It's if I didn't know better and help me out here, Southside. There's a club somewhere else going through a bad time with a lot of stuff coming their way, and anything to take the dairy off of them. No pun intended there.
Oh, unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, see, to be honest, the haters have always hated us, mate, and they're probably hating us even more now that we've come back when they kicked us down the leagues and everything. We'll sell out our Saturdays and that. And Alfie, it just no matter what he does, as soon as it's something that looks dodgy, they're right on him and tap him. And see, to be honest, right, the tackle is the tackle. I don't think there was total malice. I think the boss spun up, like I've said earlier, and he's just put his leg down. So, but we'll just need to get on, mate. We'll take it come Tuesday. We'll see what we we'll see what the verdict is, and we'll just move on. We'll keep our dignity as always. We could probably come out. I mean, at the end of the day, across the East End, we had somebody out criticising government. We had them out criticising football clubs. He criticised everybody basically but himself and his club, and there's been nothing said about it. Nothing. So Alfie's made a tackle. The media's drammed it up. They've rammed it up, and now he's going up on Tuesday for the disciplinary, and that's just the way it is, mate. But we'll hold our dignity, and we'll move on, mate, as always.
Sometimes dignity's good, but sometimes you've got to stand your ground as well and utter some sort of protest. You know.
You can't carry away all the time, but I think you've got to be aware that the club are fighting many battles, mate, with the media and people with things online, but they can't fight every single one of them, you know, and they can't tell us everything they do because it's just no practical.
I understand that, but, you know, it just gets up my goat every time. It's something derogatory about the Rangers all the time. We'll never be the apple of anybody's eye in Scotland. And as for the other thing about Rangers joining the English League, it's not allowed with UEFA or FIFA because country of origin. And how the hell Celtic's still in the Scottish League when their country of origin's Ireland, and a Spanish team proved it years ago by making them fly with Aer Lingus, having to cancel their jet out to Spain. I think it was Atletico Bilbao. And that's going back a bit, by the way.
Well, you're a lot older than me and Bridgeman.
I'm a hell. I'm not going to live with that one.
Oh, wait a minute. What's that? You're trying to say I'm old?
No! You're young at heart, okay, Bridge?
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm just surprised they only mentioned yourself and Bridgeman there. I'm 3 years younger than him.
I think you sound a hell of a lot younger.
All right.
Listen, you're going to get banned.
I've got another wee thing. I get into trouble in Saturday. No, was it Saturday? Aye, it was Saturday. For, you know, the scores. My missus gave me into trouble. She always takes a 2-1, but she didn't get it right anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right, okay, bye, boys. I'm going to try and watch your show again, you know. Ben, we're having a lot of trouble on YouTube, by the way. There.
Are they?
Right, okay. Good night, bye.
Good night, pal.
Bye.
Night, Carol. Night, mate.
Ciao. Evening, Jim. We've enjoyed the Jim for Paisley. How we doing, mate?
How you doing, guys? I wonder if you can hear me okay.
Aye, we can hear you fine, Jim. You carry on, mate.
Cool. Well, I'm going to say some talks. If Alfredo Morelos wants me to represent him in his next court case, I'll stand by him all the way, and I will do. Listen, if they want to play crab football, we can all play crab football. You might hold the ball between your knees and stuff, but you've got a right to go for a ball. And we all know what's going to happen. He's going to get a three-game ban. Well, probably. The way they're trading the media. Oh, see the way they're trading the media. Their mind is an absolute assault on somebody. You remember this guy, Porteous? They're digging at him. It's a wee kind of confrontational thing that was going on throughout the game. So, get up when they're young. So, well, let's go for us. I don't have Rangers will appeal. I know. I've got a funny feeling that once Steven Gerrard sees it back again, he might say, "Ooh, okay, there I go."
The club will sit with Morelos. Morelos has got rights in this as well. If he feels that he stood in his leg, but it wasn't deliberate, he's entitled to put his case forward. He might not win it, but he's entitled to put his case forward. Bridgeman.
Aye. Oh yes, most assuredly. I said what I said earlier, thinking that we're assuming that he did do it, and he tells Gerrard that he's done it. But if he says no, I never did that, blah blah blah, and he's going to have to be explained. You need to explain that. What did you do? What did you do here? Look at that. That just looks really bad. What was happening here? And then he could say, well, the ball was spinning and I went to get the ball or whatever, you know. So I'm quite happy if he says that, and the club say, right, yeah, we're going to back you on that because we'll take you up to this panel of experts, whatever they are. So that'd be fine. But see if he turns in and says, well, you know, I'm not actually sure what happened there. I don't remember doing that, but oh dear, it looks bad. Then they turn in and say, no, let's just cut our losses here and just say we'll take whatever 3-match ban or a 2-match ban. Try and bargain with them.
Yeah, Bridgeman, I think you're absolutely correct here. I've got a funny feeling they might just say, oh, let it go. Let's go for another game, another 2 days, or I'll cut it do it 2 games or something. I mean, but we have very little games to play between now and March anyway. I think we get two next month, and she'll know better than me. We've got, I don't know how many games we've got the next 2 months.
Every time you look, they move the fixtures, mate, but we'll come back to that, mate. Moved again with them.
Aye. Cool.
All right. Jim, just getting your views on Wednesday night's game, mate. Sticky pitch, good result.
Oh, listen, we couldn't have asked any better than that, Bridgeman. You know the way I put my bet on it, I did for a 2-0 and then for a draw. I wasn't caring. I did it. Well, a Bridgeman would have done me. Yeah.
Here. Anyway, we've also
let's go to Edinburgh with 3 points, Oaks. You know.
That was the main thing, aye. That was the main thing. We've been joined by Shuggy. Evening, Shuggy.
Evening, then, Oaks. How are you yourself and the panel tonight?
Hello, Shuggy. Okay. Is everyone okay with you?
I'm soon, mate. I'm soon. Paul, how are you, Bridgeman?
Magic, bud. Magic.
No, I think we're all the same, but I just think I had to make a wee call tonight because I honestly think this hullabaloo that's going on about Alf is a wee bit over the top. Like, us as fans should just say to him, look, say what you want, do what you want. We're the best team in the league. Mr. Lywell's left because of whatever corruption he's got in his back pocket. Right? Their big mountain's starting to fall. Whether they bring in somebody else in the Scottish FA that's going to, lie down with him, possibly so. But at the end of the day, let's remember, we're top of the league by how many points?
23.
Exactly, mate. 23 points. If they want to rest Alfie for 3 weeks to come back and score a winning goal for the championship at Parkhead, that will do me lovely.
I think that was a great word you used. Since swashbuckling was used by George B.K., hullabaloo sums it up Southside.
That's a good one, definitely.
I'll tell you. Hullabaloo.
I think it's like anything, innit? Mate, it's like anything, Shuggy. It's just taking the headlines and it's been rammed up. But like I said, I don't think there was any real intent in it. I think the boss spun up. And I just think...
I mean, I've got to be quite honest with you. I've watched the situation 4 or 5 times, and like you look at some of the tackles that Mr. Brown has been putting in over the last 2-3 seasons, and he's walked away scot-free. Why has he walked away scot-free? Because he's been run by the ants up there. Now, probably I'm getting a wee bit upset because I love my club, you know what I mean, and I'll stick up for Alfie 100%. I think he was wrong, what he did. I think he should have walked, personally, myself. But at the end of the day, they just want to get rid of him out of Scotland, don't they?
There's two stories.
There's fans.
There's two stories.
There's fans who... Say that again, mate?
You're saying there, like, he should maybe... I don't think he intentionally meant to do it, to be honest. And I just think it just looks a wee bit more worse than it is. And only because it's Alfie and he's had previous things over the last... He done a sort of forearm at Dundee United, right? So they gave him a 2-match ban. He's had a couple other ones at Aberdeen and stuff. And it's Alfie. So, aye, see if he maybe hadn't had any sort of previous ones. I'm not saying there was any malice in it, mate, but people might have looked on it a wee bit more favourably. They're probably just looking at it and thinking he's done it again. So, but I don't think he actually meant to do it, to be honest. But he gave the referee a decision, and the referee seen the angle, mate. I've said it earlier. The referee thought it looks like he stumbles over him, and that's the angle the ref saw. and that's why there was no action took. And as I said, and I'll say it again, Porteous has got no stud marks on him. He's not complaining about it. He's got no holes in his leg. So for me, they're making it a lot worse than what it is.
Possibly so, mate. But end of the day, right, the way I see it, right, I thought it was a bad challenge at the time.
Messaging service.
I thought it was a bad challenge at the time, right? And I've seen it on numerous occasions. But what I will say in case of Alfred's defence is that how many times has Brown got away with smacking people on the face, smacking people on the chin, smacking people wherever, checking people wherever he's done? Alfie won't get away with it because he's wearing a blue shirt, mate. That's what I'm trying to say, in Alfie's defence.
But there's two stories. Right? There's two stories. There's a story about the actual tackle, and people will have their opinions on that, and they'll see it as it is. But then there's a second story about the way the boy's been treated. And I think somebody said it was mentioned, I've never checked this, I maybe get Bridge to do it while I was watching paint dry. I think they mentioned it 57 times for the incident to the end of the game, the Morelos incident. And then you've had the hullabaloo in the press. Not about any other tackles, not about the forearm smash against Livingston by the Celtic player, not about the stamp that Griffiths got.
But the thing is, though, that's going to happen anyway, because why is that going to happen? Because he's wearing a blue shirt for the Glasgow Rangers.
I think we've always got to watch that we don't turn into them and think we're victims all the time. We're better.
Listen, mate, my opinion is this, right? Listen, we don't try and play the victims card, mate. They do.
They're good at it, mate. They've had years of practice. Always cheated, never defeated. Let me take this new caller, Shuggy, mate. We'll be joined by a new caller. Evening, caller.
Hi there, is that me?
Aye, that's you.
Yeah. Sorry, my name's Glenn.
All right, Glenn, have you got the show on in the background?
No, it's a telly in the living room.
Turn it off.
Hold on. Is that okay now?
We can, that's fine, mate. We can hear your telly. Can't believe you're watching that rubbish.
No, it's like I'm in the kitchen. Hold on.
I'm only kidding, mate.
Right. Right, my first thing for, as you said.
Aye.
I've been trying to make the point on a certain radio show for a number of weeks, right? And the man in question is and I don't like mentioning his name, is Shug Keevans.
Right, okay.
Right? And he jumped in the Rangers. After this last 4 or 5 weeks, he's jumped on the Rangers bandwagon. And he's saying, oh, Celtic are this and Celtic are that, turning into a right Judas. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other point I was going to make was what your last caller said there, the Brown incident and the elbow, and absolutely nothing was made of it. Nothing. Do you agree with me?
We do, mate, but I think what we're saying is, as a panel, and I'll go to South.
I know. I know you're going to say we're better than that.
We're better than that, and plus the media have got an agenda. They're trying to drive the narrative of the story, Glenn,
Aye, I want to get and I listened to Crocker and see after, is that your last caller was saying there, see after Morelos had, was that a foul? Was that a yellow card? Was that a red card? The referee is saying he didn't see it. He's right in line with it. And he's not getting a yellow card or a red card. But see after that, the agenda that Andy Walker had on Morelos was deplorable.
Here, mate. Here.
Deplorable.
We agree, mate. We agree. We heard that.
He mentioned it once. He mentioned it again, and no, it was like Crocker was saying, like behind the scenes or off the mic, do you want to see that again, Andy? Do you want me to play that again, Andy? And it get played and played and played, and then half time, same again. Crocker or Morelos, Andy chimes in. What happened when the tackle was made on Kamara?
Mm-hmm.
Practically identical. Nothing was said about it.
A lot of similarities. Good points, Clint. Right, what do you want to do, Bridge? A tenner if anybody mentions Alfredo Morelos cost him a tenner a night, what do you think?
I'll pay it. It's going to be very unfortunate if somebody gets called it out, isn't it?
I was going to come back to you on the sort of Jordan Jones thing that you asked me earlier.
That seems a distant memory. Listen, Glenn, look, we're not denying on here. The boys have all looked at it. Bridgman thinks it might have been a red card. I'm not so sure.
I don't think so. See when you compare it with the Commander challenge, it's more or less identical.
There's similarities, mate.
You know what I mean?
There's only one person who knows, and the boy at Southside pointed out the boy for Hibs wasn't up showing his leg and showing stud marks. So let's hope we put a good enough case forward, and let's not get caught up in the narrative.
No, I know.
They're trying to drive us to, mate, all right?
I know. They're trying to drive us down as usual.
Can I ask Glenn a question?
Aye.
You okay?
Yeah.
Okay, chair?
Aye, go on.
Just to say, Glenn, so you know you were saying about what Crocker and company were saying, and Crocker and Walker, what a pair. So, you know, they were saying that on Sky TV, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Would there's a movement starting up, I believe, that they want to ban Sky.
I mean,
talking about the Rangers fans. I know it's a bit dramatic. I'm just going to ask Glenn if he feels the same. I don't have Sky, so I'm not. It
would also cost us about 15 million quid. So let's be
no. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Rangers supporters.
Aye.
Rangers fans.
They're customers. If they don't want Sky, cancel it. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I was asking. Going to ask Glenn, how do you feel about that? Do you want to continue with this pair telling you this and telling you that, and all of a sudden it's so totally anti-Rangers again? I don't know. I feel the same with the BBC. If I could, I would just take it away.
Aye.
But why don't let me?
Right, I want to move the show on because we're going to get stuck in the Morelos thing, and it's going to turn into us just talking about Morelos on it. Is that fair?
I know.
That's a £10 fine for you, mate.
You know something, guys? You know something? He's a brilliant player.
Aye, here, Glenn.
Brilliant. And you know what? I put it on Facebook the other night there after the game, and I said, what I said was, Glasgow Rangers, great performance, great result, Andy Walker, get it right up, Gay. And that's the way I felt.
Nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. Listen, right? Glenn, glad to hear from you, mate. It was a pleasure speaking to you, and you phone in any time you've got something to say, mate, all right?
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
We are the people.
Yeah, you don't forget it, brother.
We are.
We've been joined by GB. How we doing, GB?
Fine, boys. Everybody okay?
Aye, everybody safe in your world, mate?
Yeah, fine. Fantastic.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant, mate.
Just about the wee Alfie incident.
Oh, no.
I'll pay the tenner. It's all right, mate. See, the Alfie incident, they're just out to try and do us every way. Try and every little piece to get us. Try and bring us down every time they try and get a chance to. I agree with wee Bridgman for a certain extent. I think they'll make an example and give him 3 games. But looking at it, that's the 3 games we can afford the wee man will be playing. We'll get Hamilton, St Johnson, and Kilmarnock. Don't really need a wee man these days. Give him a rest for Europe. What do you think of that?
Southside.
I think the club will put up a robust defence for him. I think He'll explain it. I think we should go up with a lawyer and all that just to make sure. There's other clubs done it. So, but we put our case to him. Aye, he's possibly going to get a guilty. But like I've said, it isn't as bad as what it looks, and what certainly the media and everybody else is making out. There's no marks on him, there's no stud marks, there's no holes in his leg, he's not complaining to the referee. He was trod on, right, and the ball spun. But like I said, mate, we'll need to wait till Tuesday. If they give him a 3-match ban and we can't do anything about it and we accept it, then fine, we look at the games and we can play it in our roof and we'll move on as a club, because at the end of the day, it's 55 is what matters. Our discipline this season with the whole team has been pretty good. So Alfie's had 1 or 2. Well, he's had 1 or 2 since he's been at us, but he's still never injured a player in any time he's been sent off. And he certainly gets rough treatment himself. But it's wee things that happen, and it's just unfortunate that this time again it's Alfie. But like I said, mate, it's been driven up with the media. And we could talk about it all night. People want to do that, but the big picture is we'll move on after Tuesday and we'll be talking about the Rangers. Anything anybody wants to talk about Rangers about, we'll talk about it, mate, going forward.
Correct. Good shout.
You know, many years ago, one of the boys,
GB, will be joined by Port Bear, Albert. Evening, Albert.
Evening, Oxbridge. South, how you doing?
How you, brother?
Albert, good.
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Aye, thanks. I'm all right. I'm just phoning up, mate, to see if there's a page on the internet to help with Alfie's bail money. I'll put a tenner towards his bail money, get him out, because that's some serious crime he committed there. So he must be in a jail. He's in a jail, aye.
I think he's category A, mate. Yeah, he's on remand.
Oh, right. So you can't get him out. That's a pity.
No.
That's a shame. I'll send him up a parcel.
Aye, I think he endangered that boy's life, didn't he? And,
it was bad. I thought he bladed him as well. You know what I mean? I thought I seen a sword at one point.
That must have been too quick for me.
Aye. It says he's a bit of Zorro. It's a narrative driven by an ex-Celtic player as usual. I mean, it's scandalous. It's absolutely scandalous. It has to come to an end, this, because they're ruining football. They really are ruining football. And it's the Scottish version of VAR. We've got the cheap version. Some tit sitting in a darkened room come out with some decisions. By the way, where did this panel all of a sudden materialise for? I mean, the complicity officer...
O'Donnell and Murphy.
I mean, the complicity officer, they get rid of her, and all of a sudden I've got a complicity panel. What's happening now? One wasn't enough, let's have 3. But it's ridiculous, mate, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It wasn't a stamp, it was a simple coming together. There was nothing there in it. It was just stupid.
I don't think it was malicious, mate. I genuinely don't. I'm not denying he stood in his leg, but that's a different thing altogether.
Anyway, the last 2 years I've got him banned because he's a dangerous player. Let's not kid ourselves on. That's what that got brought in for, because he was the best player on the team, so they had to get him out. What have they done last year? They all talk about we blew up after the new year. We didn't blow up after the new year. We just ran out of goals. Our 30-goal striker get banned for the first 3 games of the new year. You're sitting going, was it 3 or 4? I can't remember. It was 3 anyway, wasn't it? So they take him out the team right away, and all of a sudden they get a jump on us. We draw a couple of games that get beat. They should have got banned.
They should have got banned that time, because I think he slit somebody's throat, didn't he?
Aye. He needs to watch, by the way. He might end up with a lifer soon. If he actually foul shies or something.
And did he know? Was he no throwing spears at the Motherwell fans? Spears, I could have picked my words better there, but did he no wave to them? Yeah.
Aye.
They set him up for that as well.
Aye, and a Motherwell player done the same thing, gesture. Nothing happened to him in the same game. Nothing happened to him. That's how I was calling it out then. It was racist. That's what I was saying then. Saying the only difference between the 2 players is one's white and one's black. That's it. So that's where you make your decision on. Because if you give one a yellow card, and it was a second yellow card, and they get sent off, the other boy's going to get a yellow card at least. But no, it's bad. It's bad.
Oh, Baird, you're a very, very, very wise man. Not very clever,
What?
but a wise man, right?
Well, I'm the cleverest guy in my playground.
Right. I think we've got to watch as a support, we don't get pulled into the narrative we're driven by people that hate us.
Of course, mate. Of course. I mean, they're doing anything. I told you before, the only thing they left was the schedule. Now we've battered that right out of the park. That was the only thing they left to stop us winning the league. Now they're trying the soft soap, as I said there on Saturday, with Hughes coming out with crap. Now they're saying, oh, that did they work, so we better try something else. All right, we'll go back to what we used to do. We'll get somebody banned, or we'll bring all the focus on Morelos, and we'll get their concentration broken, the rhythm, the team broken. It's not right. It's just not right. It's ignore it all. Just completely and utterly ignore it all, and let's go on with winning the league. As far as I'm concerned, what's going to happen, and every one of us can write what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen. There's going to be nothing new here. In fact, we'll all be dumbfounded if the boy actually gets away with it. We'll all be dumbfounded. So go on with the league, go on with the games, concentrate on the games. That's what I'm doing now. Just concentrate on the games. Forget about these side shows and this irrelevance. It's just totally irrelevant. I just want this league won as quickly as possible, and I don't care about this Parkhead carry on. We want to win it, but I don't care about all that nonsense. Get it won as quickly as possible, preferably at Ibrox. And I'll tell you why I prefer it at Ibrox, because when we win this league, it's a historic thing in our history, and I don't want anything connected with them mentioned in the same breath when it's talked about in the future. I just want it all to be about Rangers, nothing to do with them.
Well said, mate. Well said. Well said. Yeah, right. I'm hearing that maybe, I mean, obviously we've been accused by a Celtic blogger that our players have been on strong caffeine. Maybe that's what they've found out that Morelos has been smuggling in the coffee Southside, you know, and that's what's causing the problem with our strong caffeine, you know, stopping us from getting COVID. So you might laugh. You might laugh. That was put in print by one of their bloggers, Pet.
Is that unbelievable, isn't it? They have no shame, man. Honestly, they have no shame. See, at the end of the day, we're talking about Alfie, but we can move on. If people want to come on and move it on, and we can talk about anything you want on performance again, or looking forward to the fixtures. I see they've picked in, is it Dundee United they've put in the 21st of February now at 3 o'clock on a Sunday, in between the Antwerp European ties. So,
and that was a good move. That was a good move for the Scottish football's coefficient, wasn't it?
Aye. Saturday's a favour, obviously, eh?
Aye. Mm-hmm. Right, okay. Right, we've reached that time of the evening. I think we're going to have a tune. So get yourself on mute.
Took a trip to Ibrox, my favourite team for to cheer, where they were playing the Glasgow Celtic on the first day of the year. Now the ground was filled to capacity as the teams come out to play. The animals sang the soldiers' song, and the people sang Dolly Gray. Now half-time it came when the Glasgow Celtic were in the lead. Finian Tully was drowning everywhere, shaking his rosary beads, while the green flags, they were flying high. Celtic hearts were full of pride. The second half, sure it started, and the Rangers, they turned the tide. Won't you play up the Glasgow Rangers? Oh, play up the boys in blue. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. We're here to cheer for you. Now the ball goes out to water, and from 30 yards he did score. Sure you couldn't hear your ears at Ibrox Park for the sash my father wore. Oh, play up the Glasgow Rangers. Sammy Cox is on the ball. He slips it through to Willie Woodbarn. Then on through to Ian McCall. McCall to Billy Simpson. Oh, here come the boys in blue. Well, Simpson beats the Celtic centre half, and then goes number 2. Now the Rangers fans are roaring. Jardine Young, he takes a free onto the head of William Simpson, and then goes number 3. Well, it's 3-1 for the Rangers. That was the final score. A happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, for Rangers beat the Fenians once more.
Yes, a happy new year from Ibrox Park, 'cause Rangers beat the Celtic once more. Yes!
They tell me that was a fabulous game, Old Bird. What was it like in the flesh?
What was that, mate?
That game.
Right. We're kind of laughing a wee bit, but that was a tradition that was with it, and it, part of the institution of Scottish football ever since I know. It's the Nerdy game, and they actually stopped the Nerdy game when we were in the 3rd division. They actually stopped that.
It's not actually true.
Do you know why they stopped it?
It's not actually true, Bridge. See, if you do your homework, you'd be surprised how often we didn't play them in New Year's.
No, I understand that. Well, we know that because of weather or some other thing, but that was a tradition. They changed the league. They changed the league and created a December the 28th, 29, just so they didn't have to go into New Year and play us. That's all.
If you actually look and do a bit of research on what I'm going to say, you'll find out we didn't play them as often as you think on New Year's Day. We played Partick Thistle a lot as well. It wasn't always Rangers and Celtic.
Excuse me, you know yourself, that was a tradition. Nerdy. The Celtic match, Celtic Rangers.
Always play Celtic. You think that? Your memory tells you that, but if you check it out, you'll be surprised.
Okay, pal.
You know, I won a few quid in a bet with that once, Bridge. Yeah. Somebody arguing with 1979. We played Celtic New Year's Day. It turned out it was the 29th of December. I was right, but there you go.
I've got a theory why they changed it after 2012. Because they didn't want to participate in the Loving Cup ceremony, because they wanted to kill us, they wanted our name. Remember, they wouldn't mention your name. You remember over the years, they just wouldn't mention your name. We never get brought in any conversation.
They're still doing it. They had to go at their manager for calling the old firm in the press conference, didn't they? That's how sad they are, mate. Anyway, you know, but you know they're that sad. They'll no deal with the crimes in front of their eyes and get that sorted. That's how much principles they've got. But don't get me started. Right, okay. Bridgeman, if people want to join us, give us their thoughts. Anything but Alfredo Morelos, please. What do you think, Southside?
And they can join us.
All possible.
What's the number?
Join us at 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at RangersRadio.online. You've got on the call with Fox and Old School Boy. If you phone in, hang up, and we will phone you back. Easy as that. As the callers come in, we treat everybody fairly. Right, okay.
Can I jump in there, Fox?
Aye, on you go, mate.
I'm just thinking, what do you think of Gerrard making early transfers, these two young players? That's right, fella, and one for Simpson.
I think there's one more to come, mate.
Yeah.
The boy for me. I don't know a lot about any of them, if I'm being honest.
What do you think the chances?
I didn't know a lot about Glenn Kamara, mate, neither.
What do you think the chances maybe be Billy Gilmore?
I don't think he brings anything to the party or club, Southside, at the moment. When he's in midfield.
Billy Gilmore, he's been at Ibrox and he went down to Chelsea for whatever his reasons were, and probably wanting to go to the Premiership, and he's done well in games down there, so he's a good wee player and he's filling potential and he'll be good, but I don't think he'll be back at us, mate. I don't know much about the signings, if I'm honest. I think the centre-back boy, Simpson, I think he's probably going to come in, and maybe George Edmondson will be moving in time once he's fit again. I think he's been out with a wee injury. I think Wright for Aberdeen's the same, probably because Jordan Jones is away down to Sunderland. So we're bringing him into the squad, and it'll be up to him to try and force his way into the team. And the big boy in midfield, I think he's come in because he's obviously sees something. He looks a bit of a boy, doesn't he? Size him. Hopefully he can play a bit. And if he can settle in it going forward, then he'll maybe get a chance. We don't know how the midfield will look next season, so it's three players we don't know a great deal about, but hopefully going forward, mate, the manager and the backroom staff and obviously our technical director have seen something in the three of them, mate, so hopefully it'll be positive for us.
I think Stevie
We've been joined by Billy. Evening, Billy.
How are you doing, son? All right. Evening, everybody.
How are we doing? What's on your mind, mate?
Well, I'm quite enjoying having a few rums here and listening to the programme again. I've got a few things to say. Sorry I'm getting back on about Morelos again. But
right, okay. No, mate, we understand that.
Personally speaking, I don't think he really meant it. Honestly, I know it's hard for Rangers supporters to think that. It might have been a wee, but it's not the way that they go on about it. Can I mention a few things?
Carry on, Billy.
When we go over about the McGregor, carry on. McGregor himself admitted on television that a player knows where he's putting his foot. Did you not catch that up when McGregor was talking about the tackle? A player knows where he's putting his foot, so he more or less admitted what he was doing was wrong. Right away. I hope Rangers actually fight this, to be perfectly honest with you. I do hope, well, maybe I'm wrong in thinking we should fight it just now. Maybe win the league and then fight things that's happened to us in the past. There's too many things happening. There was umpteen fouls on Kamara that night, if I remember. And if you go back on the coverage from Sky, it goes on about, oh my God, I can't even mention this guy's name, Crocker. Honestly, God. It's not so much that he's a Celtic supporter. I just think he supports every team that Rangers play. Personally speaking, I just think he supports every team that Rangers play. That's the way the guy is.
I thought it was embarrassing. I thought it was embarrassing, Sky's coverage. Embarrassing.
Oh, terrible. And see the likes of Jack Ross going on the way he went on. That was out of order too. And see the him concentrating on his own team. See, when he announced the team, he left him. The guy that gives us bothers, the boy Boyle. They left him out the team to begin with. Because he just was more or less trying to contain us. That was all his idea was. Containers. And to carry on the way he carries on, mentioning them all the time, like Walker and Crocker, all this time. That's all they seem to mention. But anyway, what we've got to do together is, we've all as Rangers supporters, we've all got to stick together. And I want to fight this as much as anything else. But I don't know when the right time is to fight this corruption that's happening in Scottish football. I don't know when the right time to do it. I'll rely on Rangers, the Rangers head guys, Stevie to tell us when is the right time to challenge all the things that's happened to us.
Well, we've got a guy in Denmark PR now, David Graham, who came through the Northern Ireland Assembly. I had the pleasure of speaking to David a couple of times.
Good.
And all I can say is he understands what he's up against, and he's a very, very, first of all, a gentleman, and also a very, very smart individual. He'll be taking the cudgel up at every opportunity, mate, when it's required. They won't take every fight up, mate, but you're right. There will be a time where they might want our support, and that's when we have to get our shoulder to the wheel. And it's not about every foul and every sending off. It's about getting. All we want's a fair crack of the whip on and off the pitch. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, I agree with you entirely there. The other thing can I mention is, see the compliance officer. The compliance officer was only brought back into play when it was a Rangers player, particularly Morelos. What happened to all the cases before that? What happened? And
I would say to you, if there's a compliance officer in Scottish football, where's she been since the trip to Dubai? Where was she when a team's manager called out not only the setup of the league, but also other clubs slandered? Is slandered the right word? Or libelled? Slandered? Slandered other clubs live in a debate, said their COVID procedures weren't correct, took clubs to task, took the government to task. I don't have a problem taking the Scottish government to task at the moment, but that's another story. But where was the compliance officer there? One boy stumbles on another one, puts his leg in his thigh, and they appear. Funny, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, it's incredible.
We'll come right back to you, mate. We've been joined. He's just joined us. Port Bear's joined us. Evening, Port Bear.
Stato!
All right, boys, how we doing? Are you all well?
Well, brilliant. Brilliant. What about yourself? You good?
Again,
you good?
Brand new. First night off, so I'm happy. First night off.
I don't want to upset you, but you're a week early.
Aye, look, hold on a minute.
He knows what premature panel.
You've told me about doing that too early, ain't you?
No, premature is a name for it, mate. Right, carry on. What's on your mind?
No, it's just basically, mate, I don't have a chance to speak to any in regards to, the incident the gentleman was just saying before. And, people might think I'm crazy when I say this. I just can't see what, and I say this to a wise man earlier on, I don't think Alfredo Morelos got a case to answer out here. And I was very surprised today that I actually seen that he has got a case to answer and they're going to hear it Monday. And I hope Rangers take this on. And I'll tell you why the reason I hope they take it on, because I think it's a very weak case. The fact they've left Dan McGregor out the whole thing and he's not even been cited, how can they cite one guy for it, mate, and not cite the other? So I think Rangers would take that on them grounds, because I think it's shown clear unfairness. It's shown yet again they're going for the Rangers guy, not going for the Aberdeen guy. I think it's a case to fight, mate. I think we'll win this. I really do.
I don't think that's your case, mate. Because two wrongs don't make a right. What I will say is, if you're going to take that case, you're saying that it wasn't violent conduct and it's not a red card. You don't even mention McGregor in your defence, because two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't understand that. Yeah, definitely.
Your case says there's no violent conduct. He stood in his leg and there was no stamping motion. A wise man told me that today.
Yeah, aye. I mean, there's clearly no starting motion up here. Clearly no starting motion, and that's where I'm asking: is that violent conduct? So they're saying he stamped. So they're saying that is violent conduct. There was no stamping motion, and I just think there's so many ways to go with this, mate. I think Rangers would take this the whole road. I don't know what the rest of the boys in the panel think, but I don't think Alfredo's got a case to answer, mate. I really don't.
All right. We'll go back to Albert. I think we're the boys nearly bust with Alfredo Morelos, isn't it? I think we've covered all the angles, mate.
It's one of these situations that you can't get to the bottom. Mate. We all think what we think, and all the Rangers haters think what they think. So, and the twain will never meet. You know what I mean? So, as far as I'm concerned, it's an irrelevance. It's just a sideshow, which I didn't want Morelos to get involved in start with, but he is. So, put it to the side and let it fester away on the side. Let's go on with the business in hand. And the business in hand, as well, knows win this league. That's all I'm concentrating on. It's all I want. And that's me. There's no much else I can add to anything.
Yeah. I noticed those Skipper's bricks were all sold out with the picture you sent me, mate.
They're all gone, mate. They're all gone.
Aye.
A fire sale down there.
I think he was getting a new batch in. Skipper was getting a new batch in. I think we'll be joined by Darren. Evening, Darren. Evening, Darren.
Well, finish on that.
Darren, we're getting feedback for you, mate. I don't know if it's the show or your phone or whatever, but we can hear. Hello?
Is that better?
That's better, mate. On you go.
Just want to congratulate Wee Jones. Wish him all the best. Hopefully gets time down there and, turns into a wee player down there.
I don't think we'll see him back in a blue jersey. Southside, then Port Bear.
No, mate. Jordan Jones, no. I don't think we'll see him back, buddy, at all. But I wish him all the best and I hope he does well down there. Maybe, you never know, Gaffer might think differently, but I don't see it. I think the club has made the decision. I think Edmondson will be the same in time, so wish him all the best, mate, and he's contributed to 55 with his goal against Motherwell and his display, so that's the one thing about it as he leaves us. But it's wasted talent, mate. I thought he might have done something for us in time, done a stupid tackle, get out injured, like you said earlier, had a great game against Midtjylland away from home and that in Europe. Fast player, quite tricky. Could have had a future ways, but I don't see that any longer. So I wish him all the best, like Darren says, but I don't see him being back at his mate, to be honest.
Port Bear, Bridgeman.
I agree with Southside there, mate. I think Jordan Jones, he was one of the boys that was getting to live the dream, a Rangers man, Rangers lad, supporting up, as he grew up. So I just think he's missed the boat, mate, and unfortunately, as I like some of the things, I was excited about his signing. I like some of the performances that I did see, but he let himself go too much and it's just going to the club. His attitude's not right, so I think it's time to move him on, mate. And like we spoke about in the show during the week and stuff, we need to upgrade guys like this. We need to go for a better sort of standard of player. Jordan Jones going to answer my opinion for the Champions League and stuff. So it's right, let's clear the decks, get Memphis available and let him go. And I do wish him all the best, but he's a guy that's going to need to live with the fact that he did not make the grade at Rangers, and it's partly, I think, next year because he's in fault, mate. That'll haunt him. That'll haunt him the rest of his career.
How's going to deal with it? Bridge?
Can I come in here also?
Just let Bridge answer. Let me go, Bridge. You can come in because Bridge is on mute. Carry on.
I'm here.
You're talking about Rangers players. Hello, are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
Talking about Rangers players. No, wee Billy Davis, wee Billy, what was his name, Gilmer?
Yes.
Great player it has been. The guy does his job in news, Stephen Davis. And I think they're grooming Zingo to come in and eventually take over for Stephen Davis. Eventually that'll give you a midfield of, the best midfield in my opinion is Steve Davis, Ryan Jack and Kamara. Now, if you see a better midfield three anywhere, tell me.
No, I don't think Billy Gilmer gets in your team at the moment, I'm afraid. I know people say he's playing in the Premiership. Bridge, you came back with the Jordan Jones?
Yeah, Jordan Jones, and I tell you what, I'm really sad for him because, I don't know why I'm saying sad, but for me anyway, I'm sad because I thought I was really hopeful that he would come out and be sparkling for us, a really good player. But he's gone. He's made his couple of mistakes, that tackle against the Tims, and then he gets caught with out in a wee party thing with COVID stuff. So it could have been COVID. But anyway, he broke the rules and he has to pay for it, and now he's going. He's away to Sunderland. He's only on a 6-month loan, and I don't know if he's got any time to come back, but I personally agree with some people that say I don't think he'll come back to Rangers. I just don't think so. I think he'll be moved on continuously.
Can I say something? Or?
Yes, I said, you got to make a speech.
If you think about it, over the last, obviously, since we've been doing the leagues and the standard of player wasn't really there, we used what we had to come up with the leagues. But if you look back to Advocate years or before that, or any player just recently that's left us and went to England, there's no many players have left Rangers, sort of youngish boys or whatever, and actually went down and done anything in their career. People go back to Arteta, Van Bronckhorst, but once young players leave us, the ones like Jamie Nessie's and that, all right, a couple of injuries and left, and there's other boys, the boy went to Dundee United and stuff, there's other boys left, think there's something better out there, but don't realise what they've got, and I think Jordan Jones will end up reflecting on that. I know he's a wee bit older, but I think he'll reflect on it in time, that he's certainly blew the chance.
Well said, mate. Billy, Jordan Jones had ability.
Jordan Jones, yes, I think Jordan Jones had a lot of ability. He's just been a silly man. He's probably ruined his career with what happened, but I think he had ability. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
He had terrific ability, but Gerrard Stevie gives players umpteen chances, but I think he's just says to himself, I can't give him any more chances. And I hope he sticks by wee Alfie all the time, Stevie. He sticks wee Alfie by him all the time, and I don't know what's going to happen there. I just hope Rangers keep going on about that. And the one thing I would like to know is, I would love to know is, when Rangers can do something about the SFA and the SPFL. I love for that day that Rangers can really do something about that. Can I take it? Sorry to change the subject for Jordan Jones.
No, that's all right.
I really find that that's always bugs me about how they get away with murder with us.
I'm going to take you. This is my local barrister that's going to answer this. Albert, on you go, Paul.
You'll find that the SFA and the SPFL executive will be taken on as soon as all these clubs are on their knees financially. They'll come begging to Rangers. You watch it. They'll come begging to Rangers. They want a reorganisation. They want a better way of doing it. They want the please save us type routine. We told them it was going to happen, and what's happened. Now, all right, COVID came in here and speeded it up a bit, but they get warned. They absolutely got warned. That chief executive of the SPFL, chief executive of the SFA need to go. They need to go.
Right, we've got a caller. Evening, caller.
Hello there. As I said, I'm William from Crossford, and I'm just putting in a grievances where I was told about. There's the fella Brown, Scott Brown, as you know, he gets sent off against Livingston, right? And deliberately, you can see what he done to him. Bad incident, right? Hardly a thing has been said in the media after that, in the papers, not a thing. Hardly anything said about it all, right? No, there's Scott Brown gets a ban for 1 game, right? Rangers Morelos is going to get banned for 3 games, right? Now, the SFA, they're against Rangers all the time. Everybody can see that, right?
Remember that we're not dealing with the SFA here, so the SPFL.
Aye, the SFA, sorry, I got mixed up there, right, aye. But I'm quite angry about all that. I know no one's really said about Scott Brown doing all that. No, not a thing. No, and that's my point.
Can I ask you a personal question, Billy?
Aye.
Do you want to see pictures of Scott? Do you want to see pictures of Scott Brown in the paper?
Oh, there was bits in it.
No, do you want to see pictures of him in the paper?
Don't buy the paper.
I wouldn't buy the Daily Record. Other people that buy the paper on the Daily Record, son.
Listen, there's a narrative with the press. Bridgeman were BBC expert, and we've seen that Crocker and Walker have got an agenda as well. What they've done the other night was embarrassing to me. I think they were totally unprofessional, and how the scapegoat Alfredo Morelos. Yes, they should have talked about the incident, and then they should have talked about it again at half time. That's what you do in a football show, but you don't refer to it time and time again.
I feel sorry for Morelos and all that. The way you're going to chop him up and all that, with that Hibs bloke saying it, on the media and Hibs media, that should never have been done either. No.
Well, we can't control that, or can I? I believe that
I know that.
Up with the compliance officer, and the maximum they can get at the club is £10,000 fine. He's come out and said he was having a joke. Yeah. That's what
he's up there.
That's what he's doing.
I think it's a joke football together now, as I said. When it's coming that way, there's a big write-up about Morelos and then McGregor and all that. It's the same kind of incident, very same. No much of a difference. And he's only getting a yellow card.
But I think it's the support, and this is only my opinion, as a support, we have to look at what happened on Wednesday night. We won a hard game of football 1-0 with a great goal, with a great striker.
Exactly.
23 points clear. Don't let us drag us down to their level.
Oh, exactly. Oh, I agree with you. You're right. You're really right. It just annoys you when they all commit a bit of that. No, it's just annoying. But then again, you're right. I'll be happy Rangers won the league.
Is this your first time on the show?
That's the first time.
How long have you been listening for?
I've been listening a long time. I watch it all the time. As I said, the wife said I watch too much of it. She's Rangers and all. She's the same as me. And all that. It's that joke with the guy. I'm supposed to be a does all jokes and all that. I'll tell you a quick joke before I go. The guy ends up, I'll let you know what to know. Guy ends up going into this pub, Paddy and Mix in the pub, right? And this guy says, "You put any car key up my backside, I can tell you starts that motor." So Paddy Mix, I don't believe that. So they've got all our keys together. So Paddy shoves her car key up, puts it up. So does that start? Well, that starts a Rover. Puts another one up. So does that start? That starts a Capri. And so on and so on. So Paddy says to Mick, "I'll sort him out." So he comes back and puts a spark plug up. So what about that? Oh, that's champion. You get it? That's what's quite good when I heard that.
And just let you know, I do the jokes on here, and you'll not be doing anything.
All right. I'm quite good at doing jokes on you.
That was good. Champion spark plugs, absolutely brilliant.
Listen,
I'll be for your time lately. I'm 67 now.
I've got one to tell you about a Camel Fox's commander and officer and a stool, but I'm keep it for a special occasion.
No, the night.
No, the
night. I'll tell you one before I go then. Guy goes to the doctor and says to the doctor, "No feeling too well." So he turns around and says to him, "Right, we'll take a blood sample." So take a blood sample and said, "I've got bad news for you. You've only got 3 months to live." So what's the matter with the doctor? "I've got this rare blood disease. And it's called yellow 52. So he goes home to his wife. He says, "How you going to the doctors?" He said, "I'm dying. I've only got 3 months to live. I've got this rare blood disease and it's called yellow 52. And he said, "I've not been good to you all the years. I'd like to talk with you." So he said, "What do you want to do?" "Oh, I'd like to go to the bingo." All right, so he takes his wife to the bingo. Guy's been working there for 17 and a half years. He shouts out for a single line. Oh, I said, £200. So that'll take us a holiday. No, take us a night out. A wee while later, he shouted out for a full house for £2,000. Oh, he said, that'll take us a holiday. Then after that, they're walking at the bingo hall, and the manager shouts him back and he says, "By the way, see, you're a lucky swine." So what do you mean a lucky swine? He said, "I've worked here 17 and a half years, never seen anyone get the singer lies up and a full house on the one card. See, I'm dying. I said, "I'll get yellow 52. Oh, if you win the raffle or not." That better. Are you away now?
Right, I've only one thing to say to you. Thanks for the call.
Don't go back on again. Don't go back on again. I'll phone you again. University Charities here.
What do you need is a new agent?
Oh, yes, don't worry.
Right, brilliant.
It's nice talking to you anyway, aye.
Get some more jokes and phone us in, maybe 2024.
Aye, 60. I might be deep in 2024. I'm 67 now, I'll be 71. I'll kick the bucket that time.
That's because
I'll let you get back on to somebody else. Okay, nice talking to you.
Speak to you soon.
Right, bye.
Cheers.
Right, bye.
See, you don't realise how good my jokes are.
Okay, if any chance to get back in again, Billy Jarvie here.
On you go, Billy.
Just before I leave, I'm just going to go and finish my rum here. So,
all right,
I want to talk about Jack Ross and McInnes, right? 2 managers, and you see the other managers coming through, like Martin. Is it Martin? What's the wee guy with Livingston?
Martindale.
No, he's doing terrific. So is the guy with St Mirren. They're really doing well, and I hope they actually take over for Ross. And
I tell you who does a good job with the circumstances. The boy at Hamilton as well.
Yeah, I agree entirely. Can I mention one thing just before I go? I hope we've all booked in for our 55-inch television. The new edition. 55.
I can't afford to drop. I can't afford the drop, pal.
Can you know? I think the last time I talked to you, you said I didn't stay in Drum Chapel or something like that.
You didn't stay in the chapel. I didn't know you stayed.
I stayed in Bayfield Avenue in Chapel.
Did you? Bayfield? Oh, top of the hill, boy. I'll tell you.
No, doing the boatman, just facing right onto the pineapple.
All right.
Sorry, the person you called isn't available at the...
And I told you at the time, when I was younger, we used to get a bus to Waverley School from
in Great Western Road.
Yes, that's where I went to school. And the other school in Drumchapel was Kingsridge.
Oh, no, that's where I went. That's where I went.
I'm 72, I'm not playing that there. I hope to meet you sometime after this is all finished. You're all having a bevy somewhere, and we can all come here and have a good talk about the Rangers.
You know, when the new Edmondson House opens up, we're hoping to grab a wee corner in there and call it the bistro.
Brilliant.
And you can come in there.
See, I had to give up my season ticket last year because I went in for it. I was small, my knee was killing me. I've had my knee operation now enough.
What was that? Was that Altered Boy's knee?
Aye, right. I don't like that. But no, my knee's fine. I've had the operation now, so it's just a matter of getting back to play again. Really, back to the old things of the Rangers. I love the Rangers. Always have all my life. I've got a wee pal of mine who's really Rangers daft as well. I'll come on the programme because he's fair to let it all go. But anyway, thanks a lot, boys, for listening, mate, and I wish you all the best.
Cheers, Billy. Speak to you soon, mate. Yeah.
We won't win, but remember, get your 55 telly. Get that.
Listen, I'll tell you something. Listen, if you ever had the pleasure of being in Bridgman's house, in his toilets, and I say plural, it's 55-inch telly.
You're a shocker, you. You're a shocker.
Speak to you soon, Billy.
All the best. Cheers, bye.
All the best to you, Billy.
All the best, Billy. All the best, pal.
Can I jump in and track it back in?
Yeah, just a minute. I'm going to Albert. You think my jokes are bad? What were they two?
Oh, that was smashing, wasn't it? Enjoyed that. I'm not going to say anything.
Albert.
By the way, Bridge, your telly's wider than my house.
I'm saying that. They're asking the guys want a big 55. Can't he afford the drop?
I know you can.
What he's saying, in his house, it's a 6'90". Yeah, it's massive in his living room, but the other ones are right, in you come, Dan.
Magic.
One for Bridgman. Bridgman?
Yes?
One for you, right. Well, but it's for the panel. But how do you think Rangers will do in the Europa League? I understand we've got a hard one coming up, but how do you think we'll proceed into that now that the league is won?
Well, apart from being hopeful, I'm quite confident that we'll beat this team coming up now, and that'll take us through to the next round. So that'll be the last 16. So if we manage that'll be absolutely wonderful. If we can go through 2 rounds, I'll be over it. I'll be ecstatic. I don't know how good. We know how good this team is when we watch them, and they seem to turn up and build their game up and carry it forward, and they're really quite good set up and good defensive in general. But obviously, the more rounds you go through, the higher the quality of the opposition. And as we know that ourselves. So I'm hopeful that we can get through 2, possibly into maybe. If we get through 2, I'll be happy. Let's put it that way. I'll be happy.
Port Bear?
I think over the 2 legs, mate. I think over the 2 legs. I don't want to. I'm not playing doing Royal Antwerp, mate. I watched Royal Antwerp over the last 2 games and in the qualifier, and they're a very technical side Oxford, but over 2 legs, I fancies against anybody, mate. I really do. I think, you'd look back at Benfica and teams that were beat this season, great results against this season. I know Benfica caught us, but Benfica were a giant. But I definitely think over 2 legs, Rangers can take on anybody, mate, in the last 32. As far as I'm concerned, nobody want to play us next year. Trust me, no one will want to play us.
South side before we bring Lucky in. On you go, South side, then we'll bring Lucky in.
I think we can do all right, mate. I think, to be honest, Port, I've not watched Royal Antwerp, so I don't know anything about them. But I just look at the way we've played in the last, especially this season, top in the Europa League group. So, and last season we've played well in Europe. He's got the team playing well when it is the European games come along. You need a wee bit of luck in Europe. But I think if we get by Royal Antwerp, and we get a favourable draw. And I can't even remember who's all left in it. But do you know what? We'll just take whoever we get. So, I could see us beating Royal Antwerp, although it'll be a hard game. And then we could probably progress another round. And then, if we're lucky enough, we'll need to see for then. But the main thing for me is the league title getting wrapped up first and foremost.
Okay, yeah, well said. We've been joined by Lackey. Evening, Lackey.
Hi, Ox. How you doing? How you doing, lads?
How you doing, Mucker? All right?
Not too bad, mate.
Everybody's safe in your world?
Oh, aye, all good, mate. So far, anyway.
Good. Right, what's on your mind, bro?
Well, I'm sorry to get back to Alfie, right? But Alfie's not got a leg to stand on for what he done there, right? How many times are they going to have to ask your boy to calm down? You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm not defending some of the situations that Alfie's in. He's also had some shocking red cards as well. Like you take the Morelos one. You know, you can make a defence for him being picked on. He's also left himself opened at times as well. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not denying that the boy stood on his leg. But what I will say, in my opinion, like, and it's only my opinion, and I've been mine before, 1983, right? He didn't stamp on him. He stood on his leg. Whether that, how you take that for violent conduct is...
he doesn't make it easy on his Ox, mate.
I agree with that, mate. Agree with that. But also, I'll come to you in 1 minute. There's a big difference between that and the tackle that was done to him on Dundee, the Dundee United player. I didn't think the Dundee United player meant that, but that was dangerous play because of where that guy's foot was. Morelos, gravity tells you that he's got to come down the way. He's got to land somewhere.
You're right, mate. You're right. I know. I'm just saying he doesn't make it easy on himself. You know what I mean?
When you go, Port.
Can I ask you a question, right? See if we want to eradicate this sort of fiery Latin side of Alfredo Morelos, I think you're lost in 50% of the player, mate. I know he plays on the edge, but if I think Steven Gerrard or McAllister, who it may be, went to him and went, look, Alfred, you need to just cut out of your game, I think you lost far too much of your player, mate. He plays on the very edge of the rules, let's just say, but I don't think he's out there to, deliberately hurt people, mate. I just think he's a physical player and he likes a rough and tumble challenge. I think if we all start asking for management team or, and too much physics put on him and we lose that side of his game, mate, I think we lose a lot of Alfie, in my opinion.
Well said, mate. Listen, if you think it was a straight red card and you think it was a red card, that's your opinion, not a problem with that. That's what my football's about.
Mate, I didn't think it was a straight red. I just thought he didn't do show any favours, mate. That's all.
We've been joined by Colin, but we'll go to Southside then. The Colin, can you go Southside?
Blackie, you're right in what you said. We're refereed differently as well, but Alfie, he's left a decision to be made, mate, and that's just what it is, and we'll see what happens on Tuesday. But it wasn't, as I played on here earlier, I don't know if you heard this, mate, there's no markings on Porteous, there's no stud marks in his leg, there's no holes in his leg. He didn't get up and show the referee and say he's... So the ball does spin away. There is angles where they show you, and there is an angle where it looks like he just falls over him, and that's what it looked like to me. And as the ball spins away, he's come down with his leg, but there's no hole, no marks. So we'll see what happens. But hopefully, you never know, mate. You might get a yellow. You never know, do you?
Wait a minute, mate. We've been joined by a caller. He might get a yellow 52. We've been joined by a caller. How we doing, caller?
Is that me? It's live.
Aye, you're live, mate. Aye, what's your name?
Peter.
How we doing, Peter? What's on your mind, bro?
I want to talk about John Lydstrom. A good scouser. I think yes, I think he would fit in fantastic with us.
Who do we put out the team, mate?
We don't put anybody out the team, but I'm talking about for next season.
Right.
Because we can get him for literally nothing.
Right.
Literally nothing. Because his contract's up at the end of the season, and I think he's a fantastic player. And I think he's one we could add to the first team, whereas Stephen Gerrard at the moment in the January window is adding players that's going to be coming through the ranks that are going to really make the grade. I think the young boy we've just signed for Aberdeen's a fantastic player. Sometimes you watch the Rangers games with blue glasses on and you really don't take note, as we've done with Glenn Kamara. We didn't realise how good he was. You watch the Rangers games with blue glasses on all the time, don't you? So sometimes you might know.
We can be a wee bit biased.
Yes, of course we can. But I think the way Stephen Gerrard's taking the team at the moment, let's sign 5 young players that's going to come through, and let's sign 5 first-team players that's going to be in the kind of stature. Ruth, all these kind of players that we've got. I mean, we've got our developing talent still is going to get better as Joe Adebo. That boy is going to get... that boy's going to hit the heights. The boy is phenomenal. That goal he scored last week was out of this world.
And his touch for the goal.
Exactly. The boy is amazing. It's just on bringing players through. We've just brought him through. We got him for about 300 grand. I think we got him for 200 grand. I can't remember the figure exactly. But to bring a talent like that, and I believe Stephen Gerrard is taking us down the right road. He's bringing all the young players in, and he's bringing quality first-team players in, because at the end of the day, we have got some good quality players in there that could play in 9 out of 10.
Can you speak up a wee bit, pal? Can you speak up a wee bit, because the guys in the lobby actually can't hear you properly?
Oh, can they know? I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Carry on. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I think his philosophy he's came good. It is, because he's bringing in quality players, as I say, and he's bringing quality young players. He's got an eye, and it's all knitted together this season. I feel he's worked to get to this point now, and he's going to take us there a line.
Bridgman, I think you'll find that they're extracting the Michael. They can hear you fine, Peter. You carry on.
Right. No bother, mate. I'm pissed. You know what I mean? I listen to the show all the time. I've just been trying to phone in. This is
the first time you've phoned in, mate.
Aye, definitely. Aye, and I'll be phoning in more often, man.
First time call, Albert.
Aye, superb, mate. Absolutely superb.
Where are you from, Peter?
I think John Loudstone. I've watched him on YouTube. The guy can put the ball through the eye, and he's absolutely fantastic football player, and he would fit in. He's just got that world class kind of. You know that. Remember, we had an unorthodox player called Mikhailichenko, pure unorthodox. He'd done something that you could never imagine, and I feel that boy has got that. So.
Yeah. All right, Peter. We'll watch that develop, mate. Obviously,
right. Thank you.
Couple of days to go to that. And you enjoy
Thank you for taking my call, guys.
Oh, you're welcome, Peter. Anytime.
Thank you. Right. Good night. God bless you. All the best to Rangers. Bye-bye.
Can I come back in?
On you go, Darren.
What about the boy for Aberdeen? I've not really seen much of him. I know we've been, obviously, he's signed a pre-contract, but, you know, where does he fit into this Rangers team? Because I don't see there being any room for him, really. Obviously, in the summer, I think the team's playing good enough. Is he going to be on the bench and then come on? Or I just don't see where he fits in.
I think you've seen the day who he replaces in the squad. Southside.
I think he replaces Ryan Kent and we sell him for 20 million, mate. No, I'm only kidding. Hey, you know, as I said earlier, I see he replaces Jordan Jones. The thing about maybe people don't know, the young boy had a cruciate ligament injury. Now, I don't know if he was maybe 19, 20 at the time, and then he had that anyway. He's come back and he's had a double hernia, and then he's obviously come back now and he's getting a bit more regular first team for Aberdeen. So if a lot of people are saying they might not have seen him about, that might be a reason why. But he was young, 19 maybe. I'm guessing around about that age he maybe had the injury. But I know he had a cruciate ligament injury and that, so that's how we've probably not seen a lot of him up until this season. I think the big boys, if a John Lundstrom was a target and we bring him in, I think that would add obviously more muscle into the midfield, because we're a bit light in the midfield if you look at the size of them. So the boy from Bournemouth looks a unit. to play if he gets in the team into midfield. So he might be looking to bolster size-wise in certain positions going forward. Because we all know, guys, the team will change slightly come the summer for next season.
All right, can I ask somebody on the phone, if somebody's either get the telly or the show in the background, can you put your phone on mute? We've been joined by my good friend Travel Rug. Evening, Travel Rug.
Good evening.
How we doing, Mucker? Where are you?
I'm at home now.
All right, okay. All right,
Scottish Riviera. Welcome back, Travel. Welcome back. I've not been away. I've just not been phoning in. I've been. I wanted to call in that Peter that called in there. You can just tell the. I know you were telling me to speak up, but I was enjoying you could tell the excitement in his voice. So, it's good that we're feeling like that again. And he was talking about the boys got right. That's a sign. That's another sign. See, we're going and we're picking off the good players for the Scottish teams. That's the way it used to be, isn't it? Before the Rotters moved in there, and I've said all along, that boy that's at Southampton, in the past, that would have been a type of player that they signed for us.
Yeah, can I just say we've had to drop the callers. We didn't know, but we were getting a lot of noise for somebody. So the phone calls, feel free to phone back in, but come in and mute, please, because we're getting a lot of interference. Will you carry on, Travel Rug?
No, I'm just saying it's good that we're starting to get we're taking the best of the Scottish players, or the best of the Scottish talent that's coming through. So that's a good sign.
I think we can back 3 or 4 years. I mean, Bridges got a view about not giving him a copper penny. We took the boy right for nothing, but I think you were somebody who's saying that we should be swooping and going for that and getting everybody we can.
Of course.
Who's going to improve our teammate. Aye. Well, I don't know enough about him. I've not watched him enough. Only time will tell.
And just one final thing about, and I know Alfie's been quite a topic of conversation. See, all the years ago, I wish Michael Moles had stamped on that goalkeeper and no tried to move his leg out the road.
Well said, mate.
Because we lost one of the greatest talents that Scottish football had because he tried to do the right thing and tried to avoid trampling on somebody or standing on somebody or however you want to dress it up. I wish Michael Moles had just landed on Kang and then we'd have got to see him. So I'm not going to criticise Alfie. Absolutely no way am I criticising Alfie.
You know me for a long time now. I genuinely don't think he stood in his leg, but I don't think he meant it.
I'm not dressing up. If the referee sent him off because he thought he stamped on him, fair enough. But I'm not this gone after the event. I'm not interested in that. I'm sick of it. So I know these people that's coming out, and even all the Rangers fans that are coming out and saying I deserve to get sent off. If he deserved to get sent off, the referee would have sent him off.
Huh? All right, fair comment, mate. Fair comment. By the way, apart from that, how are you?
I'm magnificent, and
you've never been magnificent. How are you?
I know, but hey, come on, we've known a team to be magnificent for a long time, so that's the thing that lifts us.
You've never been magnificent, unbelievable.
Oh, I was when it was when Souness and Walter were there. You never knew me when I was in a good mood then. Every time you've seen me, we've been miserable, but that's a bit of Kashina and a bit of Warburton.
I've never heard anybody call you miserable.
No, it was only Lee Wallace that was keeping the blue skies above me, but now I am magnificent.
Is there any truth in the rumour that you're going to present James Tavernier with Player of the Year award?
that would be nothing better. Even though I don't think he'll be Player of the Year, but if that's how people decided, it's not my choice.
Democracy, you can't argue with democracy, mate. Well, we can.
I'm disappointed with you. I thought you would have been a Stephen Davis fan.
Well, I am. You know, I like Davis. A lot of time for Davis. He's our quarterback, mate. Takes us round the pitch.
He's the one that's what we've been needing, isn't it? Somebody that can take control of a game and dictate the pace of the game for us. So I love him. He's a Rolls Royce of a player.
I think we've been joined by Big Mark. I think Big Mark's joined us. How we doing, Big Mark?
How you doing, Oxford? All right.
All right, mate. How's yourself?
Yeah, all good. I don't want to fine, so I don't want to go back on the Alfie thing. on the £10 fine, but it angered me a little bit. I was listening to that PLZ soccer. I know I shouldn't be listening to it, but when you're bored in your machine at work, you kind of have to listen. You kind of listen to it, but I turned it off in the end. I couldn't listen to them anymore. That Peter Martin and the rest of them. But what was phoning in to say about what about the Brigton Loyal? What about that little campaign they've got going? That's a beauty, isn't it?
Brilliant. And you know, when I read it today, the amount of money it was running, and I got my bank card out, and the amount of money, and obviously it might not happen, but if it doesn't happen, the money's going to Erskine and the Emmy Smiley Foundation, which is something I'm particularly fond of. So if it doesn't happen, all the money's still going to Rangers-based charities, which is absolutely superb.
Yeah, I've been on Twitter. I've been on Twitter today, looking and following it, and it's like, oh man, that is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. I will donate myself even still, because I've said even if they don't get it, that the money's going to charities anyway. So
it's going to Erskine or the Emmy Smiley Foundation, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's brilliant. It's just like you're saying, you want to change the subject from the old Alfie thing. So I thought, well, no one's really mentioned that tonight. I thought, I'll give it a little mention.
We've no mentioned Nathan Coombs leaving, as it looks as if we'd no mentioned the fixture. I thought Bridge would have went nuts about the fixture. Morelos has took the show. I don't think Morelos has took the show. I think the fact that he's been cited has took the show. On you go, Travel.
I'm just to add to the thing about the Brigton Loyal doing that the fundraiser. Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning the money that get handed out to the Rangers Youth Development Fund today, and then just last week or 10 days ago, the guys at the Erskine guys raised, that was them, reached £1 million, and you never see any of that in the press, eh? None of these good news stories ever seem to make it to the press.
No, and we had a big Stevie for the drum. Got a ball, and we done it on a football card, and it was over £800 we raised for Erskine on here, just for having a football card. Was so the Rangers support, if they've got it, they will give it Travel Rug.
Of course they will.
Can I come back in?
No, at the moment, mate, because I'm just going to be talking to my good mate, Mr. Bridgman, in 1 minute's time, Darren. Yeah, Southside. It's been eventful tonight, eh?
Aye, mate, it's been a quick night. Aye, well, everybody, like you say, everybody can come on, mate, and give their opinions on the Alfie thing and that, and we've all got them, so. But aye, it's been a good night. It's good to hear a lot of people phoning in tonight and a lot of first-time callers, so aye, it's been a great show, mate.
Just give me 1 minute and I'll give you the agenda for I'm just waiting for feedback for the technical team to tell us what's happening at the weekend. Bridgeman, over to you, mate.
What a marvellous night. Once again, Oxford, another marvellous night, and welcome back. Big welcome back to I can't even remember his name for a life of me. Never mind. It's gone. My mind's gone. Travel Rug, of course. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is. We've seen it all today, over the last few days. The furore about a man having even if it's a free kick, there's just an absolute agenda by the press and the media, and they just can't stand us. And that's what happens to us. We end up with all these people, they don't know what to do, their whole world's falling apart, and they can't do nothing other than attack us. So good luck to them. I wish them all the best. Well, I don't really, but you know what I mean. So for me, every single one is watch it for ourselves and keep it going for the Rangers, because the Rangers really need us, because someday we might be able to do something for them and they'll do something for us. Keep it going.
Can I thank yourself, Bridge, and of course Southside for starting the show with some fabulous calls tonight, and people had to wait because we know we're trying to get as many in as we can. We'll always phone you back. Thanks to everybody for the way they came on. Some great guys on for the first time, and some great old callers coming back to speak to us again. Always great to hear from Mark Corby and my mate Travel Rug. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 9, talking about all things Rangers for a lockdown special. We'll see what the agenda is going to be. I'll tell you what it'll not be about Alfredo Morelos. Take it away, Old School Blue.
More like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. When McAvenny scored the first, the beggars thought it was the first of many. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. It didn't take long to realise when Super Ali equalised. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Then up stepped Super A. It was a 30-yarder all the way. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Then Andrews claimed he couldn't see when Super Ali made it 3. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. The Ibrox fans, well, they wanted more when Kevin Drinkle made it 4. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I've never felt more like singing the blues when the Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, Ibrox Park, it came alive when the bold Mark Walters, he made it 5. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. When Billy McNeil went home that night, he said to his wife, the Celtic are shite. Oh, Rangers, cha-cha, cha-cha, you got me singing the blues. Well, I never felt more like singing the blues when Rangers put 5 past Dean Andrews. Oh, Rangers, you got me singing the blues. You got me singing the blues.